Hi everyone, this is Bongo Peet reporting for New World Colour, and if you're anything like me, when you hear the word mare, you think of baby lambs shouting in the fields, mare, mare. But in this context, the mare's a person, and we're here today to meet Matthew Evans, Mr. Mayor. Thank you very much for agreeing to meet us. We know you're a very busy gentleman.
Very happy.
What's the correct way I should address you? Is it Mr. Mayor?
Mr. Mayor is fine. If you want the full title, it's Your Right Worshipful the Mayor. But Mr. Mayor is perfectly fine.
Excellent, the right worshipful. So there's a lot of history involved in your position.
There is. It goes back centuries.
So day to day, on an average working day, what kind of things does the Mayor have to do?
Well, it's incredibly varied, and that's the good thing about the position is you don't know what you're going to be doing from one week to the next. For instance, yesterday I was attending a St David's Day service in Cardiff. On Saturday morning I was launching a new business for Calypso Arts in the Share Centre in Newport. Wow. Saturday evening I was at Welsh Society's St David's Day dinner. Every day is different. I get lots of opportunities to go and visit school children, go and visit sort of elderly people in residential care homes. Lots of variety, and it's incredibly enjoyable.
Sounds rewarding. So you strike me as a normal kind of working, an average gentleman, not to sound offensive.
Not average. No, you can beef it up a little bit.
Phrase that. You're obviously a very important gentleman, but tell me, for the aspirational youth out there, can anyone make their way to this room, to being mayor, to wearing those chains?
They can indeed. I mean, you have to be involved in local politics, but in Newport it's based purely on seniority. So a longest serving councillor becomes mayor, regardless of politics. So it's as simple as that. If you stick around, get elected I've been a councillor for about 16 years. We try and encourage people to engage in politics. So I was a councillor fairly young, but anybody can become mayor.
Yeah, that's interesting. So you're a man at the top of his game. My mum was at the top of her game. She worked for years and years and years for the local authority as a teacher. And when she became head teacher, she found that she was disconnected from the issues and the work that got her into education in the first place. So was there anything when you got to the top that you didn't see come in, or any part of the aspect of the job that took you by surprise, that you thought, when you got to the top, you thought, God, I didn't see that come in, or any kind of internal politics, anything like that?
Well, the mayor in Newport is non-political. Each mayor is different. You have 1 year in office, and it's very much up to you what you decide in some respects. For instance, on this Wednesday, all the high schools in Newport have been invited to come to the council chamber. We'll have a question and answer session. They can ask me anything they like, and I want to try and encourage people to be involved and see how the democratic process works. And afterwards, they'll come in here and we'll have an informal chat. So it's very much on an individual how they want to engage. Engage with people. And I was the first mayor to set up a Twitter account, so you can all follow the mayor at Mayor of Newport. So it's a quick plug, but it's very much, a lot of people don't realise what the role of the mayor is. So it's difficult to explain, but there's a new generation now who are able to look and see online and see what the mayor does, and it's just a way of promoting the role. Yeah,
I think that's fantastic. And what you're saying about encouraging debate with young people, I think that's an excellent initiative, because what I've noticed observing political output in the UK is that in the private school system, debating and kind of having the political to and fro is very much a part of young people's development. I find or my experience, of course, of secondary schools was that debating wasn't there. I mean, my friend went to Basilisk and he got to study classics. I never got that kind of option in Killian, but I think that's good to kind of engage young people in the process, and especially for debate, because it is important in the modern world to be able to articulate your feelings.
Absolutely, it's important that people use their right to go out and vote.
Yeah. So it's been an interesting, you could say tumultuous 10 years for Newport, even 20 years maybe. And obviously you're coming toward the end of your role as mayor of the city.
Yep.
So where do you see Newport in 10 years' time? Do you see it as just going to be like a commuter hub for Cardiff, or do you see it as something growing, we can stand on our own 2 feet and be alongside Cardiff and Swansea?
I think Newport's got a lot to offer. It's had a lot of knocks in the past, but I'm confident that the future is looking bright for the city. I've been leader of the council. It's something which is quite easy to sell in some respects. We've got a great transport network. We've got iconic buildings like Transporter Bridge. We've got Tredegar House. We've got our great Newport County, Newport RSC, Newport Gwent Dragons. We've got lots of, wonderful countryside on our doorstep. And we've got a lot of architecturally historic buildings. And I want to ensure that Newport has its own identity, which it does, because you walk through a town centre or city centre, building-wise, we've got this new £100 million redevelopment taking place. Soon you're going to have all your Nando's and family restaurants, your 8-screen cinema, your new shops, but not just that. We've got Premier Inn coming, we've got Admiral expanding in the city centre. So we want to have more people living, working and enjoying the city centre. And I'm encouraged and think that, we've never fulfilled our potential, but, I'm proud to have been brought up in Newport and fly the flag, and I think in a few years' time people will look and say, well, actually, Newport's doing well.
Definitely. Well, we all hope so. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how the Friars Walk development impacts the city. So, as I say, you're coming toward the end of your role as mayor. When that happens, what's next for you? Do you go back into business? Do you put your feet up for a little while, or what's that?
Well,
what's
no,
that like?
I mean, like you said, you have a year at the moment. I'm hoping to go back to being leader of the opposition on the council. I've been a former leader of the council. I hope to go back to doing that. But it's only for a year. You make best use of it. And one of the things which we haven't talked about, which I'm going to plug at the moment, is the mayor raises a lot of money for charities. And this year my chosen charities are the Newport Sea Cadets, small operation in Newport, rely totally on donations, based at a small building, dilapidated building on the riverfront, and that gives people an opportunity, some young people who don't necessarily have the family life, and the Sea Cadets becomes their family. It gives them extra life skills and training, and they're the sort of minor beneficiary. And my other charity is the Teenage Cancer Trust. Again, no connections there. If you get cancer at any time, it's particularly harrowing, but as a teenager, it's the worst sort of possible time.
I've played, I'm a musician, so I've played some shows to raise money for the Teenage Cancer Trust. It's a very worthwhile charity.
They are. And so, I've hosted a number of fundraising events throughout the year, and so far we've managed to raise about £35,000 for the charities. So
that's fantastic.
It's another element of the job which people don't necessarily know about. But,
and is that at your discretion, or is that something that's...
Yeah, that's very much up to you. You can decide which charity you want to use. At the beginning of the mayoral year, you get a lot of letters from people. You read through them. I went to visited the Teenage Cancer Trust Skypad in Cardiff and the Newport Sea Cadets unit, and was very impressed by both of them, and they both rely on donations to move forward. So it's up to you which charities you decide to support. That's
fantastic. Okay, so one more question. Your personal opinion, to quote Dylan Thomas, on the loveless destruction of the Chartist mural in the John Frost Square. What's your personal take on that?
I can't comment on it because the role of mayor is non-political, and that can be construed as a political.
Okie dokie. So maybe when you go back to your office as leader of the opposition...
When I go back to my office as leader, it's a different story, but at the moment while I'm mayor...
The current Conservative candidate's been quite vocal about the replacement for the mural, and about, the Labour kind of council's silence on the matter. And
again, while I'm mayor, you're non-political. Nice try, but one of the roles you have is to chair council meetings, and even my personal Twitter account, I've been non-political for the entire year.
Yeah.
I've only got 3 more months to go, but I will ensure that to the last day I will remain non-political.
So if I could pick you up on your Twitter account, around the time of the NATO summit, I believe someone in the Newport City Council, even though you're the top man, someone deleted a tweet of yours. Was that?
Well, I suppose that's a matter of fact, but again, it's probably not my position at the moment to comment about.
It's something that happened and it moved on, but I've got to say that, in my opinion, you handled it in a very dignified and statesman-like manner. In my opinion, I had respect for that. Anyway, I've been Bongo Peet. This has been His Right Worshipful Mayor of Newport, Mr. Matthew Evans. Thank you very much for meeting us. Thank you for giving us your time.
That's okay.
We've been New World Colour. Check out our website and our Facebook for more details about the goings-on in the glorious city of Newport. Thanks very much.